Yupik Reina Dutmalga Yechatuasak late Reina Alicia Yechatuasak
Yechatuasak Nui Hall Lake
Well, do they eat? Do eat. Yeah, hot do a ska. Do a sock. Nathan or let ka Enoch Nathan.
Wasayati Sakaya to Sak Shukanina Hatati Hunakau, Aha Shinget, Shukanedi, Hafish, Gleka, Achtusigo.
Okay. On the telephone, doing a brief introduction.
Yes, he was Bob. Victoria like Bob and Hannah Nanya.
Okay. And online. Jasmine. Okay. We just did a round of introductions. You want to jump in?
Yes, oh, you mean like formal introductions?
Yeah, somewhat formal.
Yes, tla yichatusa Colleen Leikach Kenach yichatusa Yes Hatsiti. Would that be right? Yes nach Hatsiti.
There you go.
Coastal Salish Kwan Nachatsiti. Dachlawe.
Oh, sorry.
Kukitan Chatsiti. Dachlawedi Yadi. Kajusta. Kajusta Ye Duasak Ach Tlak. Kagne Ye Duasak Ach Tlak Du At.
Okay. Gage, we'll try one more time. Are you there? I see you. Your mic's not working. Okay. Konea Sayikan Chish. Ekina Khatsati Qad. Shuka Khadi Tlingit. Yupikaya Rish Qad. Akhish Dikaya Sam. Akhiir Stini. Yeah, thank you guys. So we're going to do a little kinship exercise first thing. So take a look at that kinship, the newest kinship chart that we handed out. I'm going to try and put it on the screen here for a second. And then what we're going to try to do. We did this in the iPad, it was very fun. So looking at how kinship works, there's one subtle difference if you are, whether you're male or female, and it's within the clan, people of the same gender are either older or younger as far as people in your age group are what are called siblings. So for female older sisters, there's shet, younger sisters are keek. For male older brothers are hun, younger brothers are keek. So let's just kind of start from the middle. I know this was a while ago, but it's right here on the screen as well. But it would help to have it in front of you. So starting with the female chart itself, is chat. Everybody say chat. Chat. And we're going to use the pronoun here for because we're going to be at the center, moving around. So the closest where we get our lineage from is Achtla, 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 Achtla. That's what we would call mother. The mother's male siblings or people in the clan who are male and are of that generation. Achkak, 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 Achkak. Females that are in that same clan that are of your mother's generation. Because it's not blood, it's a clan-driven kinship system. Achkak, 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 Achkak. Staying within the clan, we would have, as a female, we would have older female siblings. And so this is anybody that's sort of in your generation, that's the same clan. They're older than you. Achshet, 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 Achshet. If they are younger than you, Achkeek, 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 Achkeek. The women that are of your generation, their children, Achkeek, 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 Achkeek. And there are certain kinship terms where male, female doesn't necessarily matter. This is one of them. Nieces or nephews, but the thing is, if you're an eagle sign, all of those little ones that are eagle sign would be cake. And then if you're raven, all the little raven ones would be cake. Okay. So now, we might also have children. So usually, yeti is probably used more by fathers than by mothers. Mothers you would usually use directly son or daughter, because yeti also means child of a clan. So, achsi, 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 achit, 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 achit. And those who have, either of them have children, or really anybody who has some form of lineage to you and is a couple generations down. Or if somebody, let's say you have a Tlingit name and somebody else a long time ago had that Tlingit name, and then somebody had a grandchild, and then somebody has that Tlingit name, that kinship relationship still exists. The other thing would be, for example, if we were in a formal situation, my grandfather, my mother's father, is a very close teacher of mine in life, Dr. Wady. So even though my children are my children, they are Dr. Wady, and they might also call me grandchild, just because that kinship, the kinship thing trumps blood relationships. And it's really based on the clan. But the grandchildren would say Dachchan, 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 So then we go to our clan opposites, our fathers. Ach ish,
Ach
ish,
ach ish,
Ach
ish,
ach ish.
Ach
ish,
His sisters or any females of his clan that are of his same generation. Ach art,
ach, art,
ach art,
ach, art,
ach art.
ach, art,
And the males on that side, ach sani,
ach, sunny,
ach sani,
ach, sunny,
ach sani.
ach, sunny,
And if it's done in the spirit of fun and everybody's comfortable with it, this is a kinship term that kind of is used teasingly a lot. Well, both of them are. As a male, going to be by your paternal aunties might be a way to say, I'm shopping for a wife, right? Because they're your opposite clan as well. And even though it doesn't even have to be that generation, like if your father is Kagwantan, any female you could call them Akhat, whether they were 2 years old or 90 years old. It's all about recognizing how that clan is related to you as an individual. And so an example would be at the end, Austin Hammond tells that Raven story, and the elder says, "Is Sunny Shu? Oh yeah, that's your paternal uncle's nose," and everybody just dies of laughter. It's just funny, and you can. Young men are raised traditionally by and they're trained by their maternal uncles, which is Achkak. But for some reason, if somebody's really acting a fool, you would say, gee, their paternal uncles never really taught them anything. You would say things like that. And so sometimes they could be used jokingly, as in I'm teasing you, and sometimes it could be used as in that person is embarrassing their lineage. So those are the types of things that kinship is usually used. So then we go up above to the next generation up, and this term could be male, female, ravens, eagles. It doesn't matter. It's just going one generation up, and this could be directly by line, or this could be just kinship, or this could be somebody's of a certain generation, and you want to establish a close relationship with them. Achlish,
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 achlish.
achlish.
The next two above that are not used as often as they used to be, but anything that's going up, 1, 2, 3 generations or above. Achlish kutlein.
Achlish kutlein.
Achlish kutlein.
Achlish kutlein.
Achlish kutlein.
Achlish kutlein.
Which, means my big grandparent. Klein means big. It comes after a noun, and it means big. Now, your mother's father's clan has a special relationship to you, and that's what we call Achdakanuchu.
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 And then as a female, if you got married, that would be Achchuch.
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 And the mother of your husband would be Achchan.
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 And your husband's father would be Achwu.
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 Now, anybody who's in the same moiety as you, so if you're a raven, anyone who's a raven, if you're not sure of that kinship term, or if it hasn't gotten to the kinship term level, Achuni.
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 We're living by the clans. You wouldn't refer to, if I'm a raven, I wouldn't refer to someone who's an eagle as Achuni. it would be Achkani.
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 And it's not that we didn't have friends, it's that even if we had friends, that kinship relationship trumps everything because it's clan-based. It's when we really start to learn Tlingit and operate in a Tlingit environment, that's how we need to see things. When somebody walks in the door, they're Chukanadi, then I see the Chukanadi there. I see my relationship to the Chukanadi. My children are named after a Chukan Shah. And so these are things to sort of think about, especially as we go into the public sphere. There always might be some chance you're asked to address people, and then you need to know who's there so that you can recognize them. Not as individuals, but as their clan. Sometimes as individuals, if like one of your teachers are there. Okay, so the last part would be going in, and as a male, there would be just a couple things that would change. So the vast majority of the kinship system is the same. The only difference is the older males of your clan who are of your generation. They're older than you. Achun.
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 The younger ones, Achtik.
Achik.
Achtik.
Achik.
Achtik.
Achik.
Then the only other one, I think we skipped one on the last one, so we'll do that one. So this is where it got a little tricky. I had this one wrong in earlier drafts of this kinship chart. As a male, your sisters or the women of your clan, their children, Achtik. But the children of your brothers. So if you're a raven, all those little eagle children. Do we do this one? Achkash.
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 So this thing has solid lines, which means same clan or same moiety at least, and then dotted lines, which let's say opposite clan. There's lots of inter-clan marriages that have gone on, and so we're not worried about that. But this is saying the traditional kinship structure would apply. And then as a man, your wife would be Achshat.
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 Okay. So here's what I'd like. There are, I see 4 of us online. There's 1 on the phone. There's Kakadushu in the room. There's 7 of us in the room. That means 12 of us all together. This might be a very challenging exercise. This is what we're going to do. We're going to build a mock kinship system in our classroom. Now, it doesn't matter what particular, we're not even going to worry about what clan you are. We're not going to try to subscribe to that. You're just going to look at this chart and you're just going to pick something based on, and we'll just build these relationships as we go. Now, what happens is you have to tie yourself to people in this room. It's a totally fictional exercise. For example, if I said, well, I want to be the grandparent. So I'm the grandparent, and then someone else would say, oh, well, maybe I'll be the grandkid. And someone else could be the kid, and then someone could be, so as you're establishing this relationship, if we did that, say, oh, I want to be the grandparent. Oh, I want to be the grandchild. Okay, well, I'll be your dad, and then that makes you my son, right? So it's gonna get complicated.
I'll be grandpa.
Okay, you are the
Grandparent.
I recommend taking like a little piece of paper. Everyone who's out there, you just took a piece of paper as we go around the room. if we drew a little sort of square or a little triangle, let's say this is the room we're in sort of the bottom triangle, rectangle. If we drew a little rectangle, as we usually are in rectangular rooms, on the bottom right-hand corner we would have Tlingit. Okay? Anybody else? And then you got to sort of figure out how we're all tied together here. No strangers.
I'll be the Dutch hun.
Okay, so on the top left of our triangle, we have the Dutchhan to that Tlingit. Anybody else?
I'll be an aunt.
The aunt. Okay, so somewhere this grandchild has a father, and the father's sister is the aunt. So that is in the top right of our little triangle. Okay.
So what are you going to be now?
So that is going to be your daughter-in-law.
But you said you're going to be what?
And then she's the aunt.
Father's.
So as we're building this relationship, so this is your grandchild, and this is your grandchild's father, so your son. Wait. I guess it doesn't matter.
Could be daughter or daughter-in-law.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So you don't want to put moities in or anything.
Well, at some point we're going to have to figure that out. Okay. We'll figure it out as we go.
I could pick another.
No, you're totally fine. It's the exercise. It's not.
Ish.
Okay. Also in the top right we have Ish. So this is the father of the grandchild. And then let's just say this is your son.
So you're
Ish.
And then the team do block.
Yes, so now you guys are siblings. Boom, it's taking place.
I'll be the son.
Okay. So, let's see. Looking at our little rectangle, we have the Dutchhan on the top left, Sunny just immediately to the right. Then we have on the other side of the room, Aunt, Ish, Tlingit. So now we have two siblings. We'll close the sibling side on that side. We could certainly go to the other side though. We have a Tlingit already.
Oh.
What about like a Tla, maybe?
Clock.
Okay. So just hang tight, everybody, and I'll explain how we can keep track of it going around the right. Okay. So I think that's everybody in the room. Those of you online, I hope this is making sense. It'll take a little bit of coordination. Anybody online want to pick a kinship term that hasn't been used yet?
I'll be Chan, mother-in-law. Ichan.
Okay. Online we have Sean.
Could you take the kinship term thing down so we can see?
Oh, you can't see it? You mean it bigger? Like that?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So the things that are still kind of available, there's sibling terms to the grandchild. The maternal uncle has not been picked. Mother has not been picked.
Should I do hund?
Yeah. We,
Can I be the mother-in-law?
we have a mother-in-law already. Would you be interested in the mother?
Yes.
Okay. Now we have a ta. We have now paternal uncle, potentially children. Yep. See who's left. Shkugate and Achgate. Are you guys gonna play with us?
Here, I'm not really sure who's what here, but you could just choose a turn for me.
So I'm not going to play because I'm going to be the one connecting the dots. And then I experience connection. Okay, can you guys hear me? Can you guys still hear me all? Okay. All right. So this is what we have. And I'm going to take the kinship chart off for a second. So here we are in the room. Let me see. Let me move this camera a little bit so you guys can see everybody.
Sunny.
All right. Here we go. We'll try it. So establishing these kinship relationships, we have, we'll make for this example, the Dechchen the sort of center of how this is working. So if I drew a rectangle on a piece of paper on the very top left corner, it's a Dechchen. Across the table, we have, well, let's just go all the way around left to right, else it's going to be confusing. So just to the right, going sort of, this was a table, and we're saying we're going around this table. Just to the right, and when I say the right, like when I'm drawing it out on a piece of paper, this is the grandchild's Dusani, right here, Dusani. So this is the grandchild's father's brother. Immediately to the right of that is Duklauk. Duklauk is the grandchild's mother's sister. And then the next one to the right is Duad. This is the grandchild's father's sister. Next one down, and we've gotten to, now we're on the sort of right side of the table, Duish, the father of the grandchild. Next one over is Dusish, the grandparent of the grandchild, and also the father of the father of the grandchild. On the phone, or online, we have Shkuyeh, who is Dukag, the grandchild's mother's brother. Let's see. Yesh Tuchma. Do you have a preference of who's going to be the mother-in-law of the father or the mother?
Of the mother.
Okay. So now we have Yesh Tuchma, who is therefore the mother of the father of the grandchild. Okay. And then on the phone, we have Tanteir, who is the mother of the grandchild. And then we have Nuweya Yuhunch, the older brother of the grandchild. So now we have developed a kinship system here that we're going to try to experiment with. You should be able to go around and, let's see, what I need to do. I'm just going to write this on the board since we can't see the faces of those on the phone. On the phone we have Tha, and then online we have John, and this is Yeh, Tuch, Tha, and this is Yeh, and this is Tanteir. And we have a Hunta, and that's no way. Okay. So the grandchild has it easiest.
He chose the easy one.
For everything to sort of spiral off of that. So you can go first.
So just go around and say, so Sunny, which is Ach Ish Du Kik, Ach Shak, Ach At, Ach Ish, Ach Ish, Ach Ish Du Ish, Shkuye, Ach Tak, Ach Tadu, brother.
Okay.
Eek. Yes, Tuch Tla, Ach, Ach. Ach Chan, Ach, Ish Du Tla.
Yeah. So that would be Ishi.
Ah.
Okay.
Tan Teich, Ach, Tla,
Yep. Okay.
Nawea, Ach, Hun.
Okay. You else want to try this? Okay.
Ach, Kash,
Oh.
Ach, Ani.
So let's see. Yes.
Ach, Kla. Ach, Hun. Ach, U. Or Ish.
Ish.
Ish, Ach, Ish. Ich, Tuch, Kla, Ach, Kani. Or,
Yes. Oh wait. No.
No.
Should it be
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. So Because she picked Chan, but then she wanted to be the mother-in-law to the mother, which would make her father's mother. And if that's your brother, then that's also your
Achla. Nawea. Kosh. Or
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah. He would also be Yep.
Ante. Cage.
That would also be your Khan.
Khan.
Right. Because that's your brother's wife.
Okay. Shkriyesh. Khan.
So those of you online, we started with the Chan. To the immediate right, when we made our little seating chart, was Sunny, and that's who just went. So I guess we'll just keep going around the room. The next would be do Kak, and the Du refers to the grandchild.
I'm confused about the do, or like if I pointed at him and I said he was like Dutch
So
content.
now you would say Ach.
Ach.
Now that would be Ach Kate, because that would be your sister's child.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Ach. Kate.
Mm-hmm. And then this would be your sister's husband's brother,
Sister's husband.
which you would just say Ach Khan.
Ach Khan.
That would be the same. Ach Khan.
Oh, Ach Khan.
Because that would be your sister's husband's sister.
Like, and then Ach Ish, or brother.
Yeah. As a woman, and I think we forgot that one. Ach Ik.
Ach Ik. So he would be Ach Ish.
Yep.
And then on mine, Shan would be.
To you, though, since you three are now siblings, Yesh Tuch Khan would be Achla.
Achla would be Yesh Tuch. Okay. And then Shkuyesh.
So Shkuyesh would now be your brother's wife's brother, which in this case would just be, again, Ach Khan.
Ach Khan. Noea. Would be the grandchild.
Nope. So that would also be, yes, Kate. And then the last one would be on the phone.
I forgot who was on the phone.
Tan Teich was the Kla of the grandchild.
Oh, mother. Ach Khan.
Ach Khan.
Ach Khan. Oh, other side.
Yep, because then
Okay.
again, so we're trying to sort of put this instant kinship thing together, which is complicated. Awesome. Okay.
I'm completely confused. Help me up to help. But, he would be
Oh,
each.
wait, I had that wrong, didn't I? Because you're Glock, sorry. So on the phone, you would pick older or younger sister. So let's just say, so there you go, that's your sister. And that would make Shkuyek, Achik. Boy, I had that all messed up. Dang. Okay, let me do yours since I messed up. So that's Achik, starting with the grandchild. Achkani, Achkani, and then Achkani as well. Now I've got it. That would also be probably just Achkani as well, because that would be your sister's father-in-law. And then you would get to, on the phone, Achshek. Chan would probably be Achdak, my maternal auntie, because now you guys would be the same clan. No, you guys would be opposites. Achad. And then Achik, and the Hunch would be Achkeish. Jeez, I moved that. I'll make a map we'll make a map of this again. It'll get clear for all of us. Okay.
So he would be each.
Yes.
Nathan would be Achkot.
Achik. He would be your brother.
Okay. I must have it written down. And then, Achkot.
Yes. Okay. So that one would also be, so if he's your Achik and those two are brothers, he would also be Achik.
Okay.
And you had Ish, Achkani. Then on the phone, Achkani. Then online, Yesh Tuchka would be Achkla. Because we've established her as the mother-in-law to the mother of the grandchild. So that means that's your mother. Because it's the mother of the father. And then we have Shkuyet, who would be Achkani.
Okay.
And then Naweya would be Achkash.
Kwasaku hot shot. I forget who's my wife.
Oh, it's on the phone.
Ha,
On tape.
Hanteik, shot.
Yep.
Hanteik. Lock.
Mm-hmm.
Lock.
Doc.
Lock. This doesn't help. My grandpa?
No, that would be Ish.
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 Right. Okay. Center. Ish. Ish. Eat.
Mm-hmm.
Sani.
Well, you guys are siblings.
Siblings.
And then he called you Hunch, which would make you the older one.
Oh.
That means he would be
Younger. He. Kani.
We have online.
Yeah.
So Chan is the mother-in-law to the mother.
Mother-in-law to the mother.
Which would make her
My sister?
your mother.
My mother. Slaw? Is
And that would be your wife's brother.
my wife's brother.
So that would again just be Khan.
Kani.
And then the Hun, the older brother to the grandchild.
Older brother to my son. So my older son.
Sahih.
Okay,
good. Awesome.
What? Dachan. That's the easy one. Then I have 3 siblings here.
Yeah, you have 3 children.
Yadi, right? So they're brothers and sister, and
Yeah.
then
So, but for that one, you could say Achid, Achid, Achsi. Achsi. That's how you could say it. Because Yeti would be child.
yeah.
And you can also say son or daughter.
Oh, right, okay. And then Achcha, right here. And then people online, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because I didn't get that written down here.
Yeah, well, that would probably actually just be
So it's
Kani.
Kani, okay, so, because the mother's sister?
And then online,
The Kla is.
there's a term for a daughter-in-law, which is actually Achit Shet. So it's like saying my son wife, Achit Shet. And then you would have Yesh Tuchtla as the mother of these 3 that are your children, would be Achshet, so that would be your wife. And then your son's wife's siblings would just be Achkani. So Shkuyesh would be Achkani. And then the Hun, which is the older brother to the grandchild, would also be Achdachchan. Yeah. Everybody online, you guys are really totally, completely lost.
Klaar.
I had a plan, and it went exactly as planned, which is very Raven-like. So this is what I'll do, is I'll draw a little diagram, and I'll put the names under it. And then we'll try this again. For those of you online, I think it would help for you guys to have a visual, since we could see each other in the room. And we'll stick with these same kinship terms, and then we'll just sort of try this again tomorrow. And it's kind of a weird exercise, but I think it's a good exercise because we grow up in this American sense of kinship, and to move into a blanket sense of kinship, sometimes you have to physically look at those relationships. And that way, as you go out of the classroom and then you start encountering people, you'll see that. And it gets even more complicated because it could be, there could be all kinds of clan relationships and other things like that, which leads me to what I'd like to do for the last few minutes of class, which is to start moving through some of the clans. So going through, this is, let me pull this up real quick. So going through our beginning Tlingit handout. Which is pretty far down.
The clans are on 61.
Page 61 of our handout. Maybe 63. I might have done a newer version. It starts with this Tlingit Saki, talking about our Tlingit identity. this week we'll continue to move through this clan chart, in addition to focusing on kinship and continuing to move through our Raven loses his nose. So one of the things when we talk about identity, and I'll make this a little bigger, we'll get to the next page. So going through and trying to think of Tlingit identity, and identity operates on these really different levels in Tlingit. There's the self, there's the clan, then there's these big migrations, and clans, and things like that. And so what this handout attempts to do is to create a sort of chart of known clans, how they are probably related. It's a dangerous thing to sort of put out there because people can get offended when you're talking about their clan. But I think it's important to, one, know how to say these different clan names. Two, know where these clans generally come from. This is a collection of information from Emmons, who came through, I believe, in the late 1800s. Frank de Laguna, who was doing a lot of work here in the mid-1900s. Richard Honore Dowenhauer, Andy Hope, Tom Thornton, Harold Jacobs, James Crippen, Jeff Lear, and then conversations with an awful lot. Now this is my best guess at how the clans are sort of structured. It's a living document, so if there are things that you think are totally wrong, just let me know. It's gone through many different revisions, just trying to figure it out. We know that there are clans that are sort of, they're born out of these other clans. Those types of things have happened. There have been a few massive migrations into and out of what's now Tlingit country that have left us to where we're at now. One of the first migrations we would call the Killaway migration. Now there was probably a migration up the Nass River long, long time ago, which is where the Tlingits probably first hit the coast. They start to sort of spread out from there, and then there's a flood. They go inland. When the flood subsides, and a lot of them live on mountaintops, and when the flood subsides, they come back, and this time they come back down the Stikine River, Stikine. So what we're going to do is, well, on the left-hand side, you'll see this thing that says Killaway migration. That means the clans were sort of part of this, or maybe they were born out of this migration. There's massive ones like going from Saxman around to Angoon, and going up, and then ending all the way up in Yakutat sometimes. And then within the migration, there seems to be these groups. And then within these groups, you have these clans. So these clans all share the Killaway crest. They share a common origin point, most likely. And the way that this group goes through, and we'll start going through this tomorrow, but if you look on this very first column, this is the name of the migration. This column would be the name of the clan and what that name means, because there's a linguistic meaning to these clans. And also the origin points, if it's known, where this clan sort of started off. Clans have a primary crest, and this is just, if you took a look at that clan, this is the crest you would see the most often. And then they have secondary crests, which are the ones they use, which you don't see necessarily as much. Then we have location and houses. Tlingit country is divided into clans, and a clan might be in multiple clans, and then there's houses within that clan, not all the time, but often there are houses. And so your identity is most closely related to your clan house, and then usually to your clan, and then to your clan, and then to the sort of the neighboring clans within your clan, and then you have your father's clan, and then moving out from there. So this is the plan for the week, is to try and get to this sheet. What we'll do is we'll practice naming these clans, we'll name the clans, we'll name the houses, and then we'll just talk about it if any questions come up. And we're out of time for today. Good cheese.
Good.
Okay.